Jerry, Entity 7, often referred to by survivors as Jerry, is a creature in the form of a small parrot with blue and white feathers. The playful glint in its eyes and its tiny, harmless-looking appearance have fooled many, until they start repeating strange phrases they themselves don't understand. No one knows the exact location of Jerry's room, but rumors describe it as a large chamber with turquoise walls, constantly echoing with the sound of beating wings and the murmurs of its followers. Those who fall under its control vanish into this place, never to be seen again. Jerry often roams level 1 and level 2, though it sometimes disappears without a trace, only to reappear in separate areas accessible solely to itself and the people it controls. Once it sets its sights on someone, Jerry doesn't attack immediately. It keeps its distance, silently trailing through every turn and damp corridor until the perfect moment to approach. A single touch from its talons or beak is enough to knock a victim's mind off course, replacing it with blind devotion. Reports claim that sunflower seeds and almond water can temporarily make Jerry lose interest, but only the person offering the treat is safe. Everyone else remains at risk of becoming the next target. Numerous photos, journals, and recordings have immortalized Jerry as a chilling symbol. In the backrooms, the cutest things can sometimes be the deadliest traps. The Sleep Paralysis Demon, Entity 58, more chillingly known as the Sleep Paralysis Demon, preys on wanderers caught in the fragile in-between, that eerie limbo when your mind is fully awake, but your body refuses to respond. To the unlucky, its arrival feels like being forced into a nightmare that's all too real, one that can leave you trapped forever in sleep. Reports suggest it most often appears when someone rests on cold, unforgiving floors, a situation far too common in the backrooms. Witnesses who've survived describe it taking on multiple forms, sometimes a faint, out-of-focus silhouette lingering just beyond reach, other times a slick, tentacled shape whose proportions seem to break every law of nature. As fear builds, so does its speed. Each blink you make seems to pull it closer, as though it feeds on your panic. No one else can see it except the chosen victim, which makes proving its existence nearly impossible and studying it even more so. This also means that in the moment, you're utterly alone. The only known method to survive an encounter is painfully simple: remain completely still and resist the urge to blink. If you're exploring the backrooms and feel the urge to rest, either fight the exhaustion or find a soft, secure spot to sleep. Because if the sleep paralysis demon comes to your side, there's a chance you won't ever open your eyes again. The Smilers. Entity 3, often referred to as the Smilers, are among the most haunting threats in the backrooms. Survivors who have encountered them all describe the same sight: a pair of glowing eyes floating in the dark, accompanied by a wide, sinister grin. They lurk deep in the darkest corners of any level, patiently waiting for their prey to wander into range. Smilers are notorious for being cruel and sadistic, often toying with their victims psychologically before delivering the final blow. They can shift their form, slip effortlessly through walls, and are almost entirely immune to conventional attacks. Even worse, they usually operate in groups and possess the ability to communicate telepathically, making their hunting tactics unnervingly coordinated. Their rare weakness lies in intense light. A strong enough beam can force them back or cause pain, and fire is even more effective, gradually dissolving their bodies like mist under the sun. Organizations such as the Meg keep records of Smiler encounters, though most are locked away to prevent mass panic. What's most disturbing is that Smilers kill not for food, but for the twisted thrill of the hunt. If you ever have to pass through a pitch-black room, carry a powerful flashlight and don't hesitate to run the moment you see glowing eyes paired with a creeping, unnatural smile. In the backrooms, that may be the last warning you ever get. Skinstealers. Entity 10, more infamously known as Skinstealers, are shape-shifting predators capable of imitating both the appearance and memories of their victims. This mimicry is so convincing that even close friends may not realize the danger until the creature strikes. Beneath the disguise lies its true form, a pale beige humanoid with elongated claws sharp enough to kill in a single swipe. Skinstealers are most often encountered in levels where humans or intelligent life frequently roam. They operate alone, slipping into a stolen identity and moving in ways that feel slightly off, a wrongness that only becomes obvious once it's too late. Lacking true human organs, they simulate breathing and eating with a specialized muscle system, allowing them to blend in almost perfectly. Their hearts rest in the same position as a human's, making it a rare but exploitable weak spot. Their skin is unusually tough and can subtly shift in color or texture to better match their surroundings. One of their most chilling abilities is the creation of new Skinstealers. Through close, intimate contact, such as a kiss, a bite, or even a spray of spit, they can transfer invasive cells that dismantle a person's body from within, leaving only the skin and brain intact. The victim is then reshaped into another Skinstealer, continuing the cycle. Some reports describe Skinstealers integrating themselves into small communities for months, quietly replacing individuals one by one until no original members remain. They never hunt in packs, so most encounters involve a lone predator. But a single Skinstealer is dangerous enough. Clumps, Entity 5, better known as the Clumps, are grotesque predators lurking within the labyrinth of the Backrooms. To an untrained eye, they may seem like an odd mass in the corner, but a closer look reveals the nightmare truth: a writhing ball of tangled human limbs, each twitching and flexing with a life of its own. Clumps are often reported in tight, enclosed environments where their flexible, joint-laden bodies can squeeze through vents, crawl spaces, and pipes with disturbing ease. Some have even been spotted in the cavernous halls of Level 8. Ancient carvings and folklore hint at their existence centuries before any modern documentation describing the many-armed beasts that stalk the dark. Each clump spans roughly 6 feet in diameter, bristling with arms of varying lengths, though one arm is always unnaturally long, stretching up to 20 feet, with the strength to snatch prey from surprising distances. Their hunting method is deceptively patient. They remain perfectly still, often half-hidden, until an unsuspecting wanderer draws too close. Then, in a blur of motion, the limbs snap forward, ensnaring the victim in a suffocating embrace before dragging them into the writhing mass. Clumps are extremely sensitive to sound, so the best, and often only, way to evade them is silence, a nearly impossible feat in the echoing chambers of the Backrooms. If you ever see a lone hand protruding from a hole in the wall or stretching from a dark gap underfoot, resist every instinct to investigate. Back away slowly, because once the clump has its grip on you, it won't let go until there's nothing left to hold. The Happy Files virus. Entity 666, more infamously called the Happy Files virus, is a malicious digital anomaly capable of crossing the boundary between code and the physical world. It disguises itself as a cluster of harmless-looking websites named Happy Files, each offering free programs, from games to productivity tools, designed to lure in unsuspecting victims. The trap is simple, yet deadly. Downloading anything from Happy Files delivers a corrupted ZIP file containing a fake thank you message and a near-identical imitation of the intended program. If the program is a game, players typically notice nothing unusual, until roughly 15 minutes in, when an unnatural figure appears on screen, slowly trailing their in-game character. This is the first form of Entity 666, a towering shadow-wrapped humanoid wearing a featureless white mask carved into an exaggerated grin, its eyes stretched impossibly wide. Reports describe sudden blackouts, followed by the figure manifesting physically in the player's immediate surroundings. Once in the real world, Entity 666 fixates solely on the file's original opener, ignoring all others. While most believe the Happy Files virus is of unknown origin, some suspect deliberate creation by the UEC, perhaps as part of a hidden agenda. The God. Entity 987, known to wanderers as the God, is a solitary humanoid figure confined deep within Level 532. His ashen-grey skin is stretched over a lean frame, draped in a tattered crimson robe and bound by black, ancient chains that appear older than the Backrooms themselves. The only feature on his face is a single unblinking blue eye, cold, piercing, and unsettling, as if it can strip away your thoughts and expose every secret you've ever kept. Records suggest Entity 987 has been imprisoned in this chamber for centuries, though by whose hand remains a mystery. Despite lacking a mouth, he speaks fluently in countless languages. each word carrying a strange resonance that lingers in the listener's mind. Physical contact with him has been linked to disorienting hallucinations and sudden emotional shifts, though the full extent of his powers is still unknown. Highly intelligent, far surpassing human cognition, Entity 987 preys on the desperation and ambition of those who stumble into level 532. He offers whispered promises of power, freedom, or knowledge in exchange for release. But those who attempt to free him quickly learn the bargain is one-sided. Once unshackled, he twists the very hopes and fears of his liberator into weapons, driving them into the waiting grasp of other unseen predators. The Bone Thieves. The Bone Thieves are grotesque, lumpy-skinned predators coated in a sickly yellow hide covered with bumps and ridges. Resistant to most artificial weapons, they possess a horrifying talent. With a single deliberate stare, they can strip every bone from a victim's body in an instant before swallowing the limp remains whole. Their hunting method relies on deception. Motionless and patient, they lure wanderers using unnervingly perfect imitations of human voices or familiar sounds. The exact mechanism behind this mimicry remains a mystery, though researchers suspect they have specialized memory organs and a sound-producing system far more advanced than that of any human. The first confirmed encounter occurred on level 4, when a wanderer witnessed their companion being targeted. Without a single noise or struggle, the victim's bones vanished, their body collapsing like an empty bag before being devoured. Only one target can be affected at a time, meaning others nearby are temporarily safe, provided they do not draw the creature's gaze. After feeding, a bone thief enters a dormant phase, lasting roughly a week. During this time, their skin tone fades to a dull grey. Though harmless in this state, their presence is still deeply unsettling, as if they might awaken at any moment.